The Pentagon says they have solved some UFO cases. Plus, Tyler Robinson's roommate slash boyfriend has seemingly vanished. This is Inverted World Live. Everybody, welcome back. This is Inverted World Live, and I am your host, Shane Cashman. We are very glad you're here. In about 30 or so minutes, we're going to have our phone lines opened up and ready to go to take your calls on anything. We like to talk about the strange, the unexplained, experiences from your past, present, and perhaps future. And you can also call in to talk about something we've discussed in the first 30 minutes of today's show. We got a few stories we're going to break down. A lot of weird, strange stuff has been happening. Before I get to all that, I just wanted to make it very clear to everybody how grateful I am for all of you out there. Just looking at the last few weeks of episodes and seeing how many people have been so supportive, that's because of you guys, and you've been showing up and engaging with us, and we love it. You know, we showed up in the studio about a year ago, and I was stoked to have 50 people watching. And it is incredible to see all you guys out there joining us, calling in. It's really made the show it's brought it to a whole other level I did not expect. And we are grateful. And I'm grateful to Brandon over here and to Alex for helping run this ship. And despite all the crazy things we run into behind the scenes in this room, you know, we've got gremlins crawling in the walls, and Brandon's over there just swatting them away left and right, as did Alex before he sat in that chair. But I just want to thank you guys. Seriously, we are so grateful for you, and we're glad you're here. Brandon, what's up?
What's up, dude? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the World Inverted. It's good to see y'all. We are midway through the week, and there's no shortness of weirdness going on, so let's jump right in.
It's one of those days. It's like I don't know where to start. You know, my day started with, oh, the Pentagon says they solved UFOs. That sounds like a place we're going to start today. And then I saw that Tyler Robinson's roommate slash boyfriend disappeared. That was interesting. And then as I get in here, you know, I didn't pay all that much attention to the ice shooting today, although it was horrific. I didn't look into it as deeply as I typically would, just because it's one of those things that's still unfolding, and it's horrible. But we were talking to Kellen, who's just over here hanging out, and he's like, did you see the map? And I'm like, yeah, I did sort of see it. Didn't really register. It wasn't on my radar. But the shooter, this person who shot up the ICE facility in Dallas this morning, posted a map of, like, a radioactive map, images of radioactivity from nuclear bombs on his car. And I was like, oh, okay, that is interesting. For sure. And then I realized the name of the book that it had come from. I was like, that is even more interesting. And what does this mean? I don't know, but I figured we'll look into it really quick. So I pulled up the book, which you can read most of it on Google Books. This is a little trick for everybody out there that I'll tell you. I used to tell my students this back in the day when I didn't want them to have to pay money for the books because it's so ridiculously expensive. For the most part, now there are some exceptions. For the most part, most books are free if you just Google them. Maybe you already know this, but most books are free if you don't know. If you just Google the name plus Google Books, and then you click that link, and you can just scroll through and read the majority of the book. Sometimes all of it. Sometimes it's just sections. Well, anyway, this book is there. It's under Google Books, and it's called Under the Cloud. The Decades of Nuclear Testing, something we've talked about quite a bit on this show. From what I have seen here, from just a little bit I've looked at it, it looks like it's looking into all the experiments that we've done out in the southwest of this country with nuclear explosions. And you might remember the episodes we've done talking about, there we go, we got pulled up right there. It's a pretty sweet cover. We did an episode a while back about the experiments they did out there, making the soldiers line up, and what effects that might have had on soldiers. Would remind you of the story we talked about last night with those gentlemen who were at Area 51 working on top secret projects who believe they are fighting what they call, this is their words, the invisible enemy that one says has altered his DNA. So that's why I was thinking of the nuclear bomb stuff when I was thinking about the Area 51 people that have dealt with grapefruit-sized tumors that they say came from the things they worked on in these top secret projects out at Area 51, which again, there was just a shooter at Area 51 today. It's one of those days. It's just a lot of stuff going on. And we'll see if we get to that one, but that was just happening about 8 hours ago, a shooter outside of Area 51. So we have Under the Cloud, and I just want to go to this article here that will show a picture of the map the shooter posted. And maybe you guys have thoughts on it. This is, like I said, I'm just now looking at this right before it went live. So I don't have all my thoughts collected yet, but I figured I want to look at it because that map is interesting. Anti-ice gunman Joshua John's car had bizarre maps stuck to outside showing radioactive fallout across the U.S. Investigators in Dallas have discovered what they believe to be anti-ice shooter Joshua John's vehicle, which had a map depicting radioactive fallout in the U.S. affixed to the right rear quarter panel. That's according to Fox 4 News in Dallas. Text above the tattered printout map stuck to the gunman's blue Toyota Corolla read, "Radioactive fallout from nuclear detonations have passed over these areas more than 2 times since 1951. And that is an issue. That's a concern. Something I thought about a lot when researching those experiments, but then it really hit close to home after I went and reported at East Palestine after the train wreck, and being there, it didn't look like a nuclear fallout wasteland, but they literally, this is their words, they inverted the atmosphere with the explosion they did, which they thought was going to fix the problem, which we later learned they didn't have to do it with the shape charges. But when they blew it up, they basically turned the atmosphere upside down, and there were a lot of people in that area that got crazy rashes, crazy coughs. People with apiaries said all their bees died. The government came and said, you can't eat your livestock. You shouldn't drink your water. So, it's a lot of farming that goes on out there, a lot of agriculture. And it was just ground to a halt. So I was thinking about what it was like to be standing at a nuclear bomb test site and how that would affect you while at East Palestine. Because there's a lot of debate as to whether it was actually dangerous to be there. It was interesting. It looked like the movie set from E.T. when they quarantined E.T. and like the whole town was quarantined, more or less. You could come and go. But you would see like these government cleanup trucks just spraying everywhere. And they were also shoveling all the contaminated dirt into big garbage trucks. And I would sit there at the train tracks and watch the trucks go by while while some of the contaminated dirt would just fall out as it was moving. I'm like, that, I don't know if that's good. And they were going a far way away because you could look up where they were going. They were bringing it to, I forget, somewhere near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. I was like, I don't know if that's so great. But anyway, when I got home, about a few weeks later, there was this strange cloud of dust that found itself in West Virginia. And it had traveled across the states from the west. And it covered our cars early in the morning. I saw it before the sunrise. And I was like, that's weird. Because it wasn't supposed to snow. It looked like snow. And I went out to inspect it. And as I went outside to inspect it, it just happened to be when the sun was coming up, just as light happened. And just as, I swear this is how it went down, just as the light touched this weird snow-like chemical stuff on my car, it just dissolved. Didn't evaporate, it dissolved. It was bizarre. There were a lot of articles about it at the time, and experts said that it was from like a sandstorm from the desert. So it must have lifted up into the sky and just came all the way over to our part of the Panhandle and dropped itself. But then lo and behold, about a year later, there were other articles that said this might have been from East Palestine, which was what I was concerned about when I saw it, because that's how these things happen. You put stuff up there, it moves around, doesn't really stay localized. We've seen that with Fukushima, and this is why I'm getting to this point, because of this map. It travels. So I'll continue. The image appears to be a map created by researcher Richard Miller, which shows areas of the U.S. over which 2 or more radioactive clouds have crossed, resulting from nuclear testing in Nevada between 1951 and 1962. John opened fire on a van carrying detainees awaiting processing Wednesday morning from a rooftop overlooking the Dallas ICE office, killing at least 2 migrants and wounding another before taking his own life. So then it gets into the bullet casings and all that stuff. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, as I do want to get to some other stories. But I just want you guys to be aware. Maybe you have thoughts on this. How is it connected? Is this something you think it was of concern to the shooter? Does it match what we're hearing? It's too soon to tell. It's too soon to know anything. Like I've said with the tragedy with Charlie, I'm not getting emotionally attached to any information. It's an onslaught. It's a distortion of information. And I'm just collecting it all. I'm thinking about it. And I don't want to get too attached to one. And so that I'm blinded by something else, or not paying attention to something else. But I am watching and listening to everything about that. And now my interest is piqued on this. So we shall see. But I'm going to, at some point later on, tomorrow perhaps, I'll do a deeper look into this book. The map comes from that book, Under the Cloud. I guess around the end of chapter 4 somewhere. So I won't just do a 2-hour reading for you right now, although I am inclined because my interest is so piqued as to why this wound up on that car and how it's associated and what it means. And, now we will not know because he's dead. He took his life like a coward, and I would like to get answers. And you know how I feel about the answers we get from third parties. It's tough because they fabricate a lot of stuff. But wanted to make sure we got into that. And then let's go to the Pentagon, shall we, Brandon? Our favorite place, the Pentagon. It's that News Nation article. And I guess once you get it, we can maybe watch just a bit of the clip. It's a 10-minute video at the top, and it's pretty much nothing worth watching. But you guys will get the idea within the first little bit.
Was this about the 2022
Yeah.
UFO? Hang
Yep.
on. Let me see if I got this here.
Yeah.
Does that look right to you?
Yep. So we'll probably get blasted with a commercial.
I already waited it out. That's
Good
why
man.
we were stalling.
Good man.
I'm not dealing with this shit.
Good
no more.
man. So let them see what this is, because it's pretty much this for 10 minutes, but we'll show you just a bit. And for those listening, it is the clearest video ever of a UFO.
Is
it's unbelievable.
Do we have actual audio on this, or is it music?
It's like bad music. No, it's actually...
All right, we're just going to not run that.
Another grainy black and white video. Let's check it out. And why this is the video at the top is because the Pentagon has come out and said we've solved a lot of these UFO cases, but this one in particular, they have not. And the headline is UFO spotted over Europe, which is what you're watching now, in 2022, still a mystery. So this is according to News Nation. The Pentagon says that while it recently solved several UFO mysteries, it still cannot identify an unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAP, or UFOs as we call them here in Inverted World Live.
You know, it's funny, Shane. I'm watching this video, and this looks oddly exactly like the shit that we were seeing outside.
Yeah, as I looked to the left, I saw that clip. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't do that.
This is different. It didn't do this. This is just kicking ass.
Do you want to go back to that?
Yeah.
And show, because that is actually a good representation. I looked out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh, that is doing that thing, isn't it?
I actually just took a similar video of this tonight.
Is Inverted World Live under attack? Like, are these drones sent to us? Is that just my narcissism speaking? What is that?
This is basically what me and Shane have been seeing.
Can you make it bigger again?
In our area.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be if this is like me, this is what I experienced. You're going to have a guy trying to hold the camera as center as possible, but this object keeps just dipping around in random areas, and it's hard to follow it.
I will say ours move even more erratically, right?
Yeah, and I saw one tonight. I was out there watching them again for a little bit, and I saw one tonight that was real crazy, and I think I got it.
No.
I think I got. Hang on, let me make sure I saved it, because I could have dicked this up massively. But I swear,
ours does not do this one. This one is soaring through the sky. We have not seen that yet, but what we have seen is that previous one, although it moves a little more erratically.
It's on there. You're not going to be able to see this, unfortunately, guys, but like,
you got it.
I actually found a way to get a view of it.
You got to get it so we can show these guys.
Yeah, I'm about to walk it up to the camera and just stick it in the camera because this is I had to use Snapchat of all awful apps to get the light exposure right to be able to film it in the first place. It wasn't working right off the bat.
That looks better than this footage.
Yeah, mine is a direct representation of what you're seeing.
Yeah,
basically on the TV right now.
That is funny, dude.
So
okay, so they've got this. I don't know.
I almost deleted it. Whoop.
Nice of the Pentagon to say that they found a few. But anyway, the news comes several weeks after the House Oversight Committee held a hearing on UAPs, government disclosure and protection for whistleblowers who say, among other allegations, that the government has access to crashed extraterrestrial craft. And you might remember during that exchange with George Knapp from Coast to Coast AM, shout out to Coast, he said that he understands that Lockheed Martin is in possession of some sort of alien technology. He wasn't too specific. Depending on who you listen to, they'll say it's technology or it's like specimens. And when they say specimens, I can't help but think of like a wet specimen, you know, in a jar. Like that thing we've been looking at from wherever it's from.
Wet specimen.
Wet specimen. I had a friend once
Terrible
who used to sell wet specimens for a living. Yeah. And when I was really poor, I said, you know, my brain will be available for my family if I need to make that extra money for them in my absence.
Wet specimens sound like something that like an OnlyFans star would like sell on the side for a bunch of money.
Wow, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that out there.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
During the hearing, officials unveiled new footage appearing to show a Hellfire missile. Okay, we talked about that last night. So if you just scroll down a little bit, Brandon, we can just show the people out there some of these things that they have solved. And I love this. UAP report from January 1st, 2022. What's it?
Balloon.
Love it. It looks just like the other video, but this one, confirmed balloon. A UAP seen by a military platform run by the United States European Command. You heard that, right? Okay. On January 1st, 2022, was determined to be a balloon with 95% certainty.
There's still 5% uncertainty about that being a balloon.
Exactly. 95%.
How much do we have to worry about every percentile between 1 and 5?
A lot.
Like, are we talking on a level of this is going to be really, really bad? Or, oh, it's just 5%?
Mm-hmm. This is making me feel a little better about my concerns with the surveillance state. Or is this them trying to make me feel like I should be less concerned about the surveillance state? Like, hey, it's maybe 95% a balloon. We don't watch everything. I think they do, though. So why is it 95%?
Maybe that 5% was because they couldn't tell if it was one of theirs or not.
Maybe. According to the AARO, the shape of the object resembled a balloon. Resembled is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. And the object's performance characteristics strongly align with those of lighter-than-air objects. For example, drifting at wind speed and direction. What's the next one they solved?
Well, this is a different picture with the same date. So did they find two balloons on the same date, or is this one balloon? Because look, we keep getting January 1st, 2022.
It's all from the same time. So you are hearing this right. There were multiple sightings, as far as I could tell when reading this, around the same time on January 1st, 2022. They've resolved many of them to be 95% balloons.
Also determined to be a balloon.
So that one's a balloon. And then you go down.
No, this was... Ara was unable to identify what is shown in the photo above. I'm assuming that's this stupid little teeny tiny dot right underneath the crosshair. Very hard to see. Okay, yeah. I can't identify it either. I'm right there with you guys.
Yep. We're the Pentagon now. Welcome. Another one from January 1st, closed as not anomalous.
Why is it blacked out?
That was also...
Or is it this white speck up in the top right-hand corner?
For those just tuning in, we are actually having a live look at the Epstein files. This is what they look like.
There's like so much like omitted in this picture. It's weird. Like...
Yeah, those are probably real UFOs from Lockheed Martin that they can't show us.
Yeah.
This balloon, we don't know, but those are other things. Don't worry about the 30 black boxes on this screen. Nothing to see.
I mean,
here.
it looks like camera lineup, but it's hard to tell. It also looks like an FBI document, just completely
Right.
like everything's
Redacted.
omitted. Yeah, fully redacted.
Another balloon. So, guys, my takeaway from this is we have a balloon problem. Who's sending these balloons? I mean, was it just last night we were talking about the $2 million we used to shoot down a balloon with a missile under Joe Biden?
That was a very large balloon, though.
Big balloon.
That was a really big balloon.
Yeah, we're not getting sizes on these.
No, they're not telling us how big these balloons are. So my mind immediately goes to like a kid's birthday party balloon. You know, like someone's just letting these balloons loose with LED lights in them out of their backyard, and they're just taking a trip.
Sheesh, unbelievable, unbelievable. So look, you got some answers. The Pentagon said, hey, earlier a few months ago, we got caught in a lie. We made up some extraterrestrial stories. We were just covering our butts for Lockheed Martin, for our pals over at Skunk Works. And by the way, this day we had all these weird sightings in January. 95% certainty they're balloons.
Dude, also, if they're going after and shooting down balloons, what do you think is going to happen to anything else that's not a balloon?
That's true. That's true. What is
Like,
going on
we
up
can't
there?
tell what it is. Blow it up. Oh, whoops, it was a balloon. Okay, now we know. But like, they're not going to stop blowing up balloons, even if they can identify them. They're still going to, all right, kill it just in case.
It'd be crazy. There's just a balloon genocide happening in the skies. There's a war against balloons we don't even know about. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on up there.
There's going to be videos. Hellfire missile bounces off balloon, keeps going.
You know, I did a story once about all the companies that send human ashes into space. I wonder what kind of like paperwork they have to fill out every time.
Dude, yeah, that's one of those things, because it's like, I feel like maybe we touched on this before, because I remember immediately having a reservation with that, being like, okay, so what happens if the shuttle burns up on launch?
Right.
You just lose.
Right. Let me see if I can pull it up, because if we could show the people what it looks like, it's insane on their website. But there are, while I look it up, there are multiple companies that people pay to have their cremains, to put it in professional terms.
Everything has a damn acronym now.
Yep.
It's insane.
And they load it up and they send it up. And the one I'm looking for, they get to a certain altitude and they just dump it out of the sky. It's going to take forever to find. I'll look for it a little later. But trust me, bro. Trust the science. They do it, and they dump a lot out. And it's not just that. They also have people pay to have themselves buried on the moon. You know how I feel about the moon.
JX says, I'm setting 3 UFO balloons loose tomorrow. See you soon.
All right.
Cigarette emoji, alien emoji, balloon emoji.
All right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So balloons are taking over. Maybe that's what happened in Norway yesterday, and in Denmark.
Well,
Still haven't figured that out.
It's funny because you gave me this yesterday. Speaking of stupid flying balloons.
Oh, yeah.
Do we remember this one?
That's right.
The Buga Sphere, pictured here. Astounding report about the resin in the Buga Sphere. And no, we're not talking about that shit you scrape out of your pipe when you're all out of weed. We're talking about resins, like tree resins, I'm assuming. But like, where the hell did they get them from?
Right.
You know,
Right.
Inside of the Buga Sphere. And here's like a super analytical analysis for you.
Yeah. Also with redactions.
Nice reported report with a bunch of black spots in it. It looks like it's mainly just like who they're addressing and what their names are.
I like that all the wild people on the fringes, of this science who really get into this stuff, have someone at a university to help confirm their bias. It's reminding me of Snake, who said he went to MIT, I think it was.
Wow.
Was it? No, he didn't go, but he went to someone at MIT.
I was like, stop it.
No. He said he had a source at MIT that he went to, and they tested the Bigfoot to confirm that it was like some missing link in
but that
human
was
history.
That also turned out to be BS, didn't it?
I mean,
they're like, no, we don't touch. It was at the
Speak for
college that was like,
yourself.
we don't touch
speak
this
for
kind of
yourself,
stuff.
Brandon.
Man,
They did. They came out and they said, we totally deny this. We don't know where he got
why would
this
they even
from.
waste their time
Yeah.
making a statement about it unless they were like, all right, look, enough of this. Like, we don't seriously do these things here.
Oh, man. My morph captain said aliens invade looking like Macy Day balloons. That would be hilarious. Robert, Brandon, this one is for you. Show us Herbie proof of life or riot.
Indeed. Indeed, Herbie.
There he goes. All right. So the Pentagon's doing Pentagon things. What do you expect? Do you believe him? I don't. But I think it's hilarious that they're just like balloon, balloon, balloon. But also on the same day in the same area, I guess. I don't know. Maybe China, maybe Elon coming, his family coming back from the ancient breakaway civilization. Who knows? Let's get into this disappearing act that I find fascinating. There's lots of different ways to look at this story. And this is in the Post from today. I just want to make sure. No, actually from yesterday. Sorry. Tyler Robinson's trans partner flees couple's Utah townhouse after Charlie Kirk assassination. Neighbor. So it's according to the neighbor. You know, already I'm skeptical of the headline. Just like they use the word flees and it's according to the neighbor. So again, interesting. And for those watching, this is the old police footage with Tyler Robinson.
The traffic altercation,
yes, yeah? Yep. Yeah. Which is an interesting watch.
And then an ad for Proactive.
Oh, my goodness. So
So
this is from St. George, Utah. The transgender live-in boyfriend of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin appears to have fled their cozy Utah townhouse, leaving mail piling up outside as he faces mounting criticism for not turning the accused killer in after he confessed to the hateful slang in a string of text messages. That paragraph is doing so much work. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And look, I'm not one to talk. Anyone out there who's read my stuff, I like a lot of long sentences. I have my own problems. But this one it's working on your brain. Like it's trying to cast a spell.
It's pumped full of pronouns and all kinds of crazy
cozy. Why cozy? You know, it's just interesting. You know, because I'm immediately thinking of that reporter the day the text messages came out. And he's like, he basically said they were like sweet or something, a loving, embracing. I forget how he worded it. Whatever it was ridiculous. But I mean, and just the fact that the text messages aren't in quotes, but I get it. It's the Post. Lance Twiggs, 22, who has reportedly been cooperating with authorities since his partner Tyler Robinson, also 22, allegedly shot the Turning Point USA co-founder dead during a speaking event on September 10th, has disappeared. Neighbors in St. George, Utah, told the Post Tuesday. Mail was spotted piling up outside the $1,800 per month townhouse the couple shared, as backlash from the public jeopardized his safety, and cops are still a presence in the quaint community, even 2 weeks after Robinson was cuffed. And there we have a photo of the mail piling up. So, okay.
And a photo of the male himself.
Ooh, nice one,
Zinger.
dude. You got to get a drum. You got to get a snare in here and a little hi-hat. Jesse Riley, who lives just a few houses down from the couple, said he hasn't seen any recent signs of life in the apartment. It definitely is a shock it happened here. It's a quiet neighborhood. You know your neighbor on your left or your right, but people are pretty isolated, Riley told the Post. I haven't seen anyone come out. There are still all these notes on the door, so it looks like nobody has been in there. Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby previously said that Twiggs was in a safe space very far away from St. George and needed to lay low for a long time. That makes sense.
Quotes, very far away.
Very, very far away. I mean,
that means that he's probably hiding there.
That was what I was thinking.
He's in the apartment building next door.
It would be
just averted attention.
Imagine. It would be very hard for this person to just vanish, you know, and disappear into thin air.
I don't know.
But anything is possible. You know, Ted Bundy.
Maybe it's WITSEC.
Maybe.
For cooperation. Maybe he wanted WITSEC, and this is the way of doing it. He's missing. Possible. We don't know where he's at. Bullshit.
Yep. He's wherever Epstein is now. But that's what I was feeling, is like, this person is so integral to this assassination. Whether we believe the story or not, he is a part of the official narrative. I can't imagine they just let him slip out like this. But I'm also surprised they'd even say it, that he's in a safe space. I wouldn't say anything, honestly, if you're actually cared about this.
No, that's just like, oh yeah, we don't know where he's at. He's gone. But by the way, he's fine.
Right.
Like what?
It's bizarre. Twiggs has not been charged with a crime in connection with Kirk's shooting, and has been an integral part of the investigation as Robinson's apparent go-to in the immediate aftermath of the assassination. Robinson apparently left a note underneath Twiggs' desktop keyboard and instructed him to find it after Kirk was shot. apparently it says, I want to make sure everyone, we all know, it says apparently is doing a lot of work in that sentence because we don't know. The alleged assassin also texted Twiggs to confess to the murder, with Twiggs responding in apparent disbelief as he tried to rationalize what was quickly unfolding. Twiggs, a transitioning transgender woman, was described as the black sheep of his Utah family, who were unaware of his reported relationship with Robinson. His parents kicked him out in 2018. All right, you guys probably know all this stuff. We don't have to go into the backstory. I'm mostly just interested in the disappearance, what it means, where it's going, and what you guys are thinking now. You know, like I said, I'm just observing. I just want to observe all of this. It's insane to watch something this huge unfold before our very eyes. You know, again, we know it's rather close to home, but even still, this is a generational scar, you know, that we all had to suffer that image, and it's insane. So that said, you know, it can be very easy for me and for all of you guys to like fall victim to any news that's going to confirm your bias one way or the other. And I just want to like pump the brakes and watch and see the narrative unfold in the same way I'm thinking about the drone narrative from last night and how that's been playing out and ramping up over the past year. You know, it's or almost a year since the drones invaded New Jersey, and we still don't have answers, but now we're getting all these weird stories about airports shutting down and all that wild stuff going down. The narrative is always interesting. That was the class I taught at college for nearly 10 years. It was called Narrative Studies. I am obsessed with the narrative. That was mostly with fiction, but also you can do it in journalism. Not so much these days. You can though, and you should. Good journalism can. There's good old objective journalism, and then we got our subjective journalism, our op-eds, we got our investigations, and all of it has some part to play in a puzzle, whether the writer knows it or not. And us as the observers need to pay very close attention to these things. It happens in politics. It's everywhere. It's everything. Sports, you know, it's like I don't think we have Hollywood anymore. It's so dead because everything else became Hollywood. It's all theater, and it doesn't mean it's fake. I think there's a lot of things that are fake, but there's a lot of stuff that's theatrical with real life consequences. And I think paying attention to the narrative is very important because they try to get you. They try to get you emotionally attached by engaging in a narrative you feel most comfortable with. And I get it because I have that problem too. I'm only human. But the narrative for this is just bizarre for the Kirk, for the assassination. And I'm like, we all should pay very close attention to how it's going on, who's saying what do you believe, knowing when to dismiss or debunk things that are so easy that I feel like have been put into the algorithm to make people who are asking questions look foolish. Because that happens. That's why they basically created the phrase conspiracy theorist, to discredit you. But a conspiracy theorist is a historian. You know history and you know patterns, and you might sound crazy, but you're not crazy. You've studied events through history, such as assassinations, and you know a lot of weird things happen in the chaos of it, also in the periphery, in the things leading up. And it's crazy to have to watch unfold right now. So that's what we have for now. My feeling is this kid's probably in a safe house, and they're getting their story correct, whether you believe it or not. What do you think?
So, I mean, yeah, my guess is probably either WITSEC or probably advised to go into hiding, because it's one of those things where they're like, hey, don't leave town for the next like 1 to 2 weeks, huh? You know, stay around.
Yeah, we have a cozy townhouse on the other side of town. Stay there. Don't leave. We'll feed you. Don't
tell anyone you're there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, don't talk to anybody.
Yeah. Or it's also possible he is on the run and they're watching him closely.
I was going to say,
I believe there's a network of these people.
I don't think they would allow that.
There's no way. I mean, look.
There would be a constant tail. There's absolutely no way. Yeah. Oh, whoops, we lost him.
Right.
Like, no, that's not going to happen. It's just not.
And that's what I'm saying about the surveillance state. I mean, we know how big the apparatus is. They can tap into anything. Cameras on streetlights, the camera at a Dunkin' Donuts, your phone. Obviously, we have the satellites.
Yeah, everything now is a CCTV basically.
Right.
They just bounce the signal, and it's
Right.
like, all right, yeah, we're in.
Right.
They have access to everything.
Exactly.
So it's
There's
insane.
no hiding. That's why on the Lockheed Martin, one of them, on one of the Lockheed Martin spy satellites, with the octopus on it, it says on the rocket itself, nothing is beyond our reach.
Well, before we get to Sergeant Peyton Cottrell, who
No
is
way.
called in. Cottrell. Sorry,
way.
Cottrell. He's in queue, so I think we'll bring him
Oh,
on.
you guys
first.
are in for it.
I want to address the next really quick, terrifying leap that we have made with these robots.
Oh no.
So really quick, this is an update as to where we are headed with these things. In this video, you're going to witness a man sawing off the limbs of this robot dog, and the dog adapting to not having the limbs anymore and still figuring out a way to be in motion. Adapts to damage. So
That's Joe Biden
these
and his
things are
dog.
going to not stop pursuing you when the time comes for them to be unleashed. This one has a broken knee. Whoops. Hang on. I got this. I've adapted to having a broken knee and now continue to pursue the human that I have been tasked with murdering in cold blood. Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
the use of AI and other things like this is now becoming real and apparent to these things as they learn and adapt in real time to the situations they're being put in.
Literally, guys, this is your homework. I have my professor hat back on just for tonight. You're going to watch Terminator 1 and 2 tonight, all the way through, both of them. And you will learn how to deal with these things. You're either going to have to hack into Terminator, which might be tough. I can't. I never learned to code, despite being barked at to learn to code. But you can also melt them. I mean, you might have to freeze some. We don't have those yet. But you're going to have to throw it in molten lava. So I
could already see hitting one of these things with an RPG and it's still coming at you.
Right. Oh,
That's so terrifying.
That's terrifying. I don't like it at all.
Oh my God.
I didn't need to see that. There's too many things going on in the world, and that's the last thing I needed today.
Yeah.
I just started sleeping again.
I figured it was worth an update for everybody on where we are with those. And make no mistake, I'm sure we will have more updates in the near future.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
keep it locked.
So you said we have a certain sergeant.
We have Mayor Sergeant.
We have mayor,
We have a
possible
certain, possibly future mayor, current sergeant.
candidate Sergeant Peyton of the Fourth Reich. Let's bring him in. Let's bring
Prepare
him
yourselves.
in. If you guys have, this is your first time listening to this show, this is an old friend of the show, Sergeant Peyton.
Sarge, you there?
Yes, Shane, Brandon, I want to thank you for having me on the air. How you doing, brothers?
We're making it.
Welcome back.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Brandon and Shane. Again, thanks for having me on the show. And what did you think of my campaign video that I did by myself about running for mayor of Houston, Texas in 2027? What do you think?
I forgot to watch it.
Oh no, Shane, you got to bring this up.
Do you have it pulled up? I had it up in my hands
so
last
you
night.
sent it to me
All right.
in Instagram,
All right.
and Instagram has me locked out right now.
Peyton, Sergeant, I'm so sorry. Can I?
It's okay.
Are there curse words in this?
Oh, of course there are, a jackass. There sure are. Yes, yes.
I want to warn people. Will this work if I do this?
No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
it
I'm
might.
kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna try to do this.
I could
Let's
try to control it.
Let's see.
Hi, my name is Peyton Cottrell II. I'm running for Mayor of Houston. Mayor of Houston 2027. Early start. Yes, early start. And I represent the cults in Houston, Texas, and the political fringe groups. I represent the cults in Houston, Texas, and the political fringe groups. I love Trump. I love America. I'm going to make it illegal to snort Red Bull again. I'm a citizen of the Fourth Reich. I love Jews. I love Israel. And the Jews are completely safe now. And the victorious Nazi Empire. You can see me at Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Peyton Cottrell II or Sergeant Peyton. Sergeant Peyton, Peyton. I'm a big Trumper, mega Trump. 2027, office of mayor. Vote for me.
Hell yeah.
Well, Sarge, what made you decide to do this?
Well, I've always been a huge candidate for about cults, and I've noticed that, especially around Halloween time. It's actually a damn good question, man. You always kick ass better than I do. That's why I always come back to you. I sure do. I've noticed that when the cults are being interviewed on Halloween time, that they have a treasure trove of very interesting, a little bit twisted, a little bit fucked up, occultic churches that have a smorgasbord or buffet line of highly interesting intellectual academia and books and lessons that basically the majority of the churches in America that I respect very much and love and peace and being all legal that they don't carry. I'm beyond I'm beyond interested in learning what these cults have to say, and yes, I'm definitely a huge far right, extreme far right, mega Trumper. I sure am. I'll vote for Trump to be president. Although he really can't do, but I would do it for him anyway. Hypothetically speaking, 4 or 5 times.
Hey, Sarge,
that's fine with me.
Sarge,
totally fine with me.
What obstacles? Hey, Sarge, real quick, what obstacles do you think you'll face being a member of the Fourth Reich in Houston, wanting to be the mayor?
Oh, nothing at all. None at all. None. When people figure out that the heightened anti-gravity technology that the Imperial Germans and our Germans possess, I think, my gosh, forget about our bias against them, being prejudiced against them. They have better shit than we do in the Allied nations. And yes, we love Jews and we love Israel. That is true.
So
we love Jews.
Are you going to bring the technological advances of the Fourth Reich to Houston? Is that part of your platform?
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
Great.
I'm going to raise awareness of the cults and the victorious Fourth Reich is also in some way its own right a cult. And so I'm gonna help to confirm and legitimize all the cults in Houston, Texas. The little assholes I'm going after are the secret societies like the Houstonati. The Houstonati, those little assholes, little bastards, that they blacklisted me as a filmmaker in Houston. And so, I'm taking those bastards down. I sure am.
Why?
I sure am. And
why did they blacklist you?
Yeah.
Basically because that's actually a damn good question, guys. You always rock and roll. I did my filmmaking seriously. They don't. They see it as a way of basically it's another form of them playing golf or playing video games all fucking day long. Come on, man. They gotta stop being such nerds and get their A game on, the game face on, the shit straight, the whole 9 yards. And make movies for real. They sure do. I pissed them off when I did for real. I really did. They hated me for it.
Look,
and guess what, assholes of filmmakers in Southeast Texas? Fuck you too, by the way. Fuck you too.
Sarge,
I'm taking your asses down.
Sarge. So the next election.
I'm so tired of being blacklisted. Honestly, I'm clear of all that.
Well,
go ahead and
we're not blacklisting you here on Inverted World Live. But,
I know that.
I know.
You,
I just want to make sure you know. The next election for the mayor of Houston is November 2027. So you are getting a head start. What is wrong with the current mayor? What can we say about John Whitmire?
He's a fine man. I have nothing against him. He's a fine mayor. He's a total fine mayor. He sure is. He's a gentleman in every way. He's a gentleman, and I respect him wholeheartedly. I'm just saying that I'm gonna. I'm going to stop the crime. I'm uniting Houston. You know, I sure am, and I'm going to bring love and peace among all nationalities. During my term from 2027 onward, in the name of God, and yes, I am a citizen of the victorious Fourth Reich. I sure am. Yes, sir.
I'd like to say this. I'm going to put it out there. But if this happens, you pursue this and you take it seriously, which I believe you are, I would be happy to host the debate between you and a candidate on this show. That is an option. They can do it. They'll have a large audience. I know we have people in Houston who listen. I think it'd be very important for the nation.
I'll produce the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Sarge, you got to make sure this happens and get your competitors.
Oh, I totally respect the mayor. I totally respect the mayor, and I support him. I support him. And love, peace, and being all legal. And love, peace, and being all legal. I totally support the mayor. I sure do.
They're gonna have to change your tune because he's gonna want to.
He's get in there and knock out the crime.
He's gonna want to stay in there. So you're gonna have to find something wrong with him.
Well, I'm probably the very first candidate that shockingly as it sounds, I'm not going to say a bad thing about him. Not at all. Not at all. All I want to do is just say my piece, say my message, and try to get in there. And honestly, I'm the only candidate that has the balls that I know of that should do that.
All right, now you're talking. Now he's talking like a candidate. Sir? Now you're talking like a candidate. So in preparation for the campaign trail, are you watching any specific speeches from any leaders in the past, maybe from World War II?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, not at all.
That might live on Mars right now.
No. I'm not at all. I'm just fixated on run for mayor of Houston 2027 and onward. And like I said, I'm not saying a bad thing at all about the present mayor. I just want to get in there and help Houston. Like I said, I'm probably the first politician in American history to actually do that. But that's all I want to do. I have love in my heart, gentlemen. I have love in my heart.
We know.
I really do.
We know, and we know you want the best for the people, and we love it. Is there anything else you want to share with the people? You know, you're kicking off this campaign.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Apparently, this alien threat of Atlas 31, I believe it's called.
Yes,
don't quote me on that, but I believe it is.
No, yep,
They're not Germans. They're not Germans. They're extraterrestrials. So yes, we need to heed the warnings. We need to heed the warnings and hide. And hide. Yes.
And hide.
Hide and pray and pray.
Hide and pray.
Wait, do you think that that Atlas is aggressive, like they're calling it? That it's coming to do damage to us in some way?
I wouldn't say damage. I'm just saying that we need the politicians and the church leaders to talk to the extraterrestrials because they're not the NR Germans. They're not. What I don't think was fair was this. They used either intentionally or unintentionally, I don't know which, to go ahead and use an Andromeda Garret, GERAT. That's Andromeda Garret. World War II U-boat base. I'm sorry, U-boat submarine shaped, cigar shaped that's manufactured in the planet Militaria Andromeda Galaxy from 2022 onward. They wrongfully used that shape of a UFO to say that that's a UFO that's attacking the Earth. Not at all. They're as harmless as a floating elephant with a big ass, who's floating around, drunk of all things among the galaxies. So I don't know who thought about using that, but they're wrong for doing that. Okay. This UFO is extraterrestrial and they do mean harm. So we should all peacefully pray in our homes and wish for the best, and with the politicians and the church leaders protect the Earth. We sure should.
I was going to say, do we need to be worried? Like, should we be arming ourselves and preparing for something, or?
If you have faith, if you have faith in our in your hearts, we all do. We should all pray. We should all pray to Jesus Christ. Pray to Jesus Christ, and And in love and peace, the earth will be fine and safe, and that will happen. Jesus Christ, or whoever you pray to for God and Goddess, He will, they will protect us.
See,
They sure will.
he's pandering. He's pandering to the cults. He's trying to have voting for him. He went to the God or Goddess. I heard you, Sarge. You're a good politician. but look, if something were to occur and we got to fight, at least we got this sick technology from the Fourth Reich that you got hiding beneath Antarctica. Right.
That's actually a pretty interesting angle you brought up, because sometimes it doesn't happen all the time, gentlemen. But Brandon and Shane, my brothers on radio in West Virginia, I believe it's where you are. Sometimes my second nation, the Fourth Reich, basically live in Antarctica. They will, on behalf of the Earth, solve problems among the galaxies and planets for us. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen sometimes. So basically, for lack of a better word of explaining about it, the real ambassadors of the Earth are the Nazis. That's true. As bizarre and eccentric as it is, the real ambassadors of the Earth in 2025, they are the Nazi Empire. Bravo and.
Is that why we hired them to make NASA?
Thank you, John, for making the Nazis the ambassadors of the Earth among the galaxies. You were saying, sir?
I said, is that why we hired them to make NASA? As the ambassadors of Earth to the Earth, we're like, these guys, we're going to launch them into space. Look at the rockets they're building. Look at the meth they do. Dude, you don't do meth, right?
Oh gosh. Well, they are very smart people. They are very bright people. There we are. Yes, there we are. And I want to thank you, Brandon and Shane. Yes, Shane and Brandon for having me on the show. I sure do. I'm just curious. What's the next day? What's the next date that you want to have me on a feature show, sir? Gentlemen.
Whenever, you're always welcome. We'd love to have you on the show anytime. And you just hit me up. You know where to find me. You got something you need to say?
The last I heard was you were going to drink a vial of werewolf juice or something on the Halloween show.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Is that still a thing?
I do want to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at Sergeant Payton on Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Sergeant Payton, Peyton. Yes, Sergeant Payton on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You sure can. And I've got 70 books, 70 whopping books on Amazon now. Sure do.
Yep.
And they sure do in the name of God.
Awesome. Thanks,
I really
Sarge.
enjoyed this, gentlemen. I really enjoyed it very much.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Godspeed, brother. I want to host that debate on this show.
Mayoral candidate
Of Houston.
Sergeant Peyton Cottrell II
Yes.
of the Fourth Reich, ladies and gentlemen.
Calling you out, Mayor Whitmire. I got your contact. We need a debate. I know this election's a few years away, but I think we got to start it now. We've been trapped inside of a general election since like 2014. So what's the problem? Let's just throw a little mayoral election into the mix down in Houston.
It's funny because it's true.
It doesn't stop. That's why everyone's diseased. Politics is a disease.
That's why I feel so tired.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Someone said that's Andy Kaufman. I sometimes do think I'm talking to Andy Kaufman when I am talking to Sarge. That's why I don't think Andy's dead. He might be in Houston running for mayor as a part of the Fourth Reich, of course. So, yeah. So someone else, Robert, said Sarge and Snake debate. I'll tell you what, guys. You know I like Snake. You know, even with his long history of fraudulent activities.
And I'm not even trying to rhyme here, okay? It just happened in my head. But Snake would flake. That's all I'm saying.
Even if he didn't flake, Sarge will eat him alive. I'm sorry. That's why we need a debate with him and the other people who want to be mayor.
I would definitely bring popcorn and just sit here and just watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even get involved, I don't think, in the conversation. I would just basically let you three handle it, and I would just hang back and just watch that shit.
I guess
unfold.
I can't make this our merch, but Sarge, if you're still listening, you can make it your merch. Although it would be fun if it was our merch too. Just Mayor Sarge. I would wear it. I would wear Mayor Sarge.
Well, we could do like a vote for Sarge, like vote for Pedro. Only
Yes.
it's like it's a picture of Sarge instead of Pedro on the shirt. Vote for Sarge.
Yes. All right.
We can. I'll write it down.
I can't wait. I'm moving to Houston. That's the other news I was going to say to everybody.
What?
No. Once Sarge is voted in, I am taking my family to Houston. And then that's how I get to Antarctica. I'll take the tunnels that they've got, that they've made with the Jews they now love.
We could be like, you want to be like hip and use the number 4 instead of the word 4, like vote for Sarge.
Yeah, that seems like nice. The kids are doing that, right?
Yeah, that's that hip shit right there. Yeah.
The comment section, thank you so much for the chat. You say, reptilian presence is real. Israel is a hub. Epstein victims saw him shape-shift when he climaxes. I heard that story. Tom DeLong told Ryan Bledsoe that the Clintons and British royals are 8 feet tall reptilians. And I'll add one to that. You guys probably are aware of this, either from me constantly bringing it up or you watched the Joe Rogan episode all those years ago with the great Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, when he talked about seeing someone shift shape before his very eyes into, I believe the word was reptile or lizard. Wow.
Dude, Robert said vote for Pedro, and it's PEYT-DRO.
Oh, that's sick.
That's actually pretty good.
All right, we're collabing.
I like that. That's
dude,
good.
That is wild
That is
stuff.
on my wavelength.
People are saying it, and David Icke has been saying this for quite some time. Everyone ragged on him, but now it's almost like mainstream to think that some of these people are lizards. All right, let's get to another caller. Zen Wolf Bear, I see you. I'll read some of these chats before we get to the next caller. You said, anyone catch the Kanye doc? I have not. I do want to, but I haven't had the time yet, but I really want to. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people said it wasn't that great. People who I like, who have, I think, a good take on Ye, they said it wasn't that great, which is a bummer if that's true, because the guy spent a lot of time with him. Many years. So let's see. Yeah, do the snake shake, says Joe Brezel. I'm not, but you guys can. Renee, Sarge, greater than snake. Yeah. Value in you, Shane. Thanks for foghorn leghorn. Whatever do you mean?
A lot of people want to get him and Ian in the same room.
Could you imagine?
I can actually.
Yeah, I can too.
I can imagine me just chilling with popcorn for that one too.
Yep. And Renee, thank you again. Oops. She sent me the Buga Sphere update a day or two ago.
Thank you, Renee.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, basically, and that I don't. We didn't really get into like the synapses of that, but they basically
there was nothing.
Got resin out of it, heated it up, cooled it down, dumped a bunch of like ice mountain water on it or something, and then like did some tests, and they found out that it was still resin.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know how the hell they got it out of the sphere, because as far as I know, they're still talking about not opening it, but
they didn't.
They have been doing tests with frequencies. I have to find the video. I'll see if I can find it tonight and show you guys tomorrow. But they had a woman basically singing or making these weird kind of, I don't know, it was almost like Bjork kind of. Just,
I'm literally wearing. Did you see? I'm wearing the Bjork shirt
you
right
are.
now.
He's wearing Bjork.
That's so weird. You said
Holy
that.
shit! No, she was completely covered by like your jean shirt.
Yeah, that's really weird that you said that. I
Hilarious.
very rarely wear this shirt.
Bjork's house.
That's hilarious. I want to get her on the show.
Yeah,
she's an extraterrestrial.
But they just had this lady just kind of like making these like frequency noises at this thing, and it was apparently giving off vibes or something.
That is a very Bjork thing to do, by the way.
So Bjork and the Buga.
Was it Bjork? We need Bjork to sing to the orb. Get the little weird fairy.
Bjork
maiden.
singing to the Buga Sphere at the Vegas Sphere.
Yeah, I'd go.
Alien invasion in the background.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Man,
that sounds good. We'll do a show from inside the sphere.
We're looking into all kinds of profiteering today, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
let's make some money.
All right, let's do another caller.
All right.
Thank you guys for sticking around, hanging out. We got another hour left, taking your calls.
On this wet and ease day.
Yep, Synchrotron 9001. Bjork is so weird. Indeed. She is a wild one. But Army for One? Army for Me? Army of One? I forget the name of the song right now. I love that song. Hyper Ballad's a good song. Elongated Musket said Army of Shanes. That's funny. She has great videos. I haven't been following her recently.
What was that one that she was just riding around the city with the whole band in the back of like a dump truck, and they were just in like on the back, or maybe it was like a flatbed. This had to be like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But they were just riding around a city on the back of a truck. And I was like, this is the coolest music video I've ever seen.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs is All Is Full of Love from Bjork. And speaking of good old Kanye, one of the last conversations we had was I was trying to convince him to have his Sunday service choir do a Jesus version of All Is Love, which never happened, but that would have been sick. And if you guys don't know that song, it's really beautiful. The video is quite weird. It's robots making out, so clearly I don't watch it. So
all right.
I don't even like watching robots do anything.
Get their limbs cut off and still walk after you.
It's weird. I didn't even
after
like
they
that.
adjusted
Yeah.
to
Didn't
not
like
having
that.
limbs anymore. Yeah.
Didn't like that either.
Get ready, bud. The chase is going to be real. It's going to be like a horror movie trying to get away from these things. I promise you. All right. I'm going to bring on Brian B. We got a couple of people on the list here that we did not get to, so we're going to prioritize these people as is tradition.
Let's do it. Dun, 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 dun.
Brian, can you unmute your mic, por favor?
Hello. Are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
We
sir.
can. What's up?
Hey, first of all, I want to say I hope SARS takes them little bastards down.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hell
We got a
yeah.
voter.
All right.
Are you in Houston by any chance?
No, not in
Okay.
Houston.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. We got some support for
But
Sarge.
I
Sick.
got a UFO story for you.
Beautiful. Let's hear it.
All right, I've got this app on my phone, Stellarium or something like that. It has to do with constellations.
Mhm.
Shows you the constellations. You go outside and you point your phone at the sky, and it tracks the sky in real time, shows you constellations. So I was out there messing with it one night, and I opened the app up, and it's like the compass part wouldn't work. It would just spin in circles, and it would stop and spin the other direction in circles. And I was like, what in the hell is wrong with this? And then out of the corner of my eye, I see these 3 lights. It's like a triangle, a light on each corner, big white lights. It comes across this field coming from west to east. And it's only a few hundred feet above the ground. And it's going so slow that you would think it was going to fall out of the sky. This field is about maybe 500-600 yards. And it takes it about 30 seconds to come across this field. And the field is behind a church. I live in an apartment beside the church. And it comes in and it stops right over the church. And it hovers there for 3 or 4 minutes. And then it takes off towards the south. But I noticed as it's coming across this field, because it's dark outside, it's got these 3 really bright lights on the bottom of it, but they're not illuminating the field. And they're when it stopped over the church, I'm looking at it, they're kind of convex, you know. But they're still, I mean, they're bright, but they're not illuminating anything. It wasn't silent. It was making like a you ever heard the soothing hum of a high voltage transformer?
Unfortunately,
Why,
yeah.
yes, I have.
Yeah, I've had to fall asleep to those.
It was humming. It was humming like that, but it wasn't real loud. But yeah, it just
Did it affect you personally in some way? Like any physical reactions to it?
No. And the thing is, I had my phone in my hand with the app open, and I was so, I guess, flabbergasted with what I was seeing. I never thought to turn my camera on. But I watched it for about 5 minutes.
It's weird that it was going that
And-
slow.
Yeah, it was extremely slow. And like I say, a plane or anything like that would have fallen out of the sky going that slow. And
Right.
it wasn't but just a few hundred feet off the ground.
What do you think you saw?
I think it was, well, see, I don't know. It was either something from our military. And the only reason I say that is because when it took off, when it came across the field, is like I said, it's in a triangle. So, there was a point going that way, but it didn't rotate. Mm-hmm. Whenever it took off to the south, it just came across, stopped, and then took off to the south. And that's out towards Fort Campbell.
So you think it was heading in that direction?
Yeah, it was headed towards Fort Campbell. So I don't know if it was military or if it was extraterrestrial, but it was.
You saw what you saw.
It was definitely. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, I appreciate that. We've had a few triangle sightings.
Yeah, I was gonna say he basically described a TR-3B.
Yeah.
That's what, I looked at it. It looked like you'd see when you Google TR-3B, except it didn't have a red light in the center.
Here's a nice.
It was just the 3 white lights on the corners.
Here's a nice United States version for you, just in case. It is ours. USS TR-3B.
Well, that would make me feel better.
I don't know.
I don't know which one makes you feel better, dude.
I don't know, honestly. I would almost rather it be a complete stranger, but that's just me.
I don't want any of it. None of them. I don't like it because they're just figuring out ways to screw with us.
I mean, they look cool. I just want to know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, they'll never.
It didn't seem to really be doing anything. It was like I said, it stopped over the church, and it hovered there for 3 or 4 minutes, and then it took off real slow to the south.
Very interesting. When you say hovered over the church, was it actually suspended in the air, or was it kind of just floating around that area above the church?
No, it actually stopped moving. It was stationary over the church for 3 to 4 minutes.
Crazy. Well, if you happen to see anything else, please give us a call.
Hit the record button, please.
And do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the phone call.
Thanks for calling.
Right. Thanks.
Have a good night.
You got-
Triangles in the sky. What did I see? There was something I wanted to address really quick. Robert said, if Bjork endorsed the moon, would you still like her? Robert, I can separate the art from the artist, Robert. No
Heineken was going to endorse the moon, or vice versa. We still like Heineken. I mean, some of us do.
Yeah, I don't think have I had a Heineken? I don't think I have.
They're
I must
skunky.
have. Yeah,
They're fairly skunky.
At some point.
If you get a good one.
Back in the old days. But let's get to another caller. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. For those who are just joining us, the link to call in is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. Tell us a story, anything strange that you've experienced. You can explain it. You can't explain it. People are saying Bjork clouds. You got thoughts on the moon. You got thoughts on stuff we've talked about today. The top of the show, we talked about the Pentagon saying that they've solved multiple UFO sightings, and it turns out the majority of them are just balloons. We also talked about Tyler Robinson's boyfriend roommate situation. That person has not been seen in a while, probably in a safe house.
But he's safe.
Playing
He's okay. He's
very,
very far away.
Very far away.
We don't know where, but very, very far away.
So
extremely far.
A lot of stuff going on. And it's just been a deluge of information about the assassination. It hasn't stopped.
You guys not seeing the link in Rumble? I'm reposting right now. So,
Rumble's been like crazy to us.
Rumble was also on some shit today. Before we went up, it's been having some weird issues.
I see a bunch of people just joined us on Rumble. So
yes,
hello.
they did. Welcome.
Hello.
What's
this
up?
is Inverted World Live. I am Shane Cashman. Over here is Brandon Miner, and we are talking about all the strange stuff going on in the world. UFOs. The Pentagon said they're all balloons from Hobby Lobby, I'd imagine. And we just heard from a caller who saw a triangle hover over a church for 3 minutes. If you've got a story you want to call in and share with us, you can hit the link that's pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. Give us a call. It's audio only. We'll bring you on. We'll hear you out. And we'll go from there. Who do we got next?
We are going to bring on Monica next, who we did not get to the other night either.
All right. And if you guys are just joining us, you should go back and listen to our phone call from friend of the show, Sergeant Peyton. He is of the Fourth Reich. There's a population of 8 million in the Fourth Reich below Antarctica.
About 100 feet.
Yeah.
100 feet down.
Yeah, and they are very advanced technology. But he also lives in Houston, where he is currently running for mayor. So you can, if you're in Houston and you think, hey, I do want a new mayor, and I want it to be Sergeant Peyton, check it out.
We also got our first actual confirmation of what Atlas is not, and that's German. So we know that about Atlas now, thanks to Sarge. It is not German.
It would have looked way cooler if it was German.
Probably would have sounded cooler, too.
They built way cooler things.
Yelling at you all crazy.
Oh, man. All right. Is Monica through the portal?
Monica's here, but I think she's muted. Monica, can you unmute?
Monica, you can join us. Robert said Brandon Minor, not to be confused with Brandon Major.
I have actually. That's not,
You've heard that before?
That's been a reoccurring joke. So I can't go to a bar and give them my ID, and they're like, "Oh, you're a minor. I can't serve you." And I'm like, "Yeah, give me."
Have you met a Brandon Major?
I've been called Major Minor.
Major Minor.
I am not a major. I am not a self-proclaimed major. I did not join the military, so that title is null and void, in my opinion. But
Monica, are you there? Indigo says we need some cryptid stories. Yeah. Anyone out there's got a cryptid story, give us a call. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I know we've had the Bigfoot one. There was a caller who had the story with someone he knew who they claimed to have hit a Bigfoot in California, I want to say, Northern California. We also had a great caller a long time ago who had a secondhand story, I believe from their grandfather, who allegedly was there around the time of the Flatlands Monster, which is a West Virginia cryptid, if you don't know. So yeah, anyone out there got cryptid stories, we would love to hear those. It's been a long time. I'd like to hear a Mothman story. Anyone out there know anything about Mothman? Anyone connected to that story? Because that stuff is, I love that story. It's crazy.
Monica, you with us?
Yes, I am.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's so nice to talk to you, gentlemen.
You as well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm, excited to be able to speak with y'all. I love the show. I just want to say this show is awesome because we get to go into all kinds of areas that most people don't want to talk about. And I think a lot of people have seen things they can't explain and they're scared to talk about it. But y'all are opening up an avenue for people to be able to tell people what they've seen in their life. And I really admire you for that. Thank y'all.
That's the biggest thing we want to do is create a platform for people to have that voice.
Yep. Yeah, that's a huge compliment. That means a lot. And
thank you.
It's been awesome to be able to talk to so many people about so many different things.
Oh, go ahead, Shane.
I was just to say, any topics open. I love being able to talk to anybody about all the weird stuff going on. We are living in a very strange time.
It is. And, if you do believe in God, which I do, and I know y'all do, he's supernatural. And so I don't understand. And plus people, like, if you're a Christian, you believe in the Holy Ghost, but you don't believe in ghosts. Like, so it's like, the way I look at it is, God is supernatural. And that doesn't mean he's some sort of extraterrestrial. It means he's just supernatural, omnipresent, and in control of the universe. And so if you believe in God and you don't believe that anything is possible, because God can do anything.
And it's all in the Bible. I mean, all this wild stuff. There's so many things in the Bible, that people would just write off. But yeah, I take the Bible literally. And there's lots of really crazy things in the Bible. And sometimes I'm told by people, by me not believing in certain things that are the mainstream truths I'm putting in quotes today, that I'm making the world like less magical, but I'm like, I think it's the opposite, because I think the way I see the world is actually not to be biased because it's me. I think it's beautiful, but like, this is how I talk to my kids about it. Like, the world, we believe the Bible. The world is amazing. Obviously, it's really dark and there's wild stuff out there. I don't fill their heads with a lot of that stuff, but they know to some degree. They've read the Bible and they've been alive for some time. But like, I'm like, look how much amazing is in this book, and apply that to the world around you. And you forget that this world does offer lots of beauty.
Oh, it does. And if you don't believe like the supernaturalness of God is completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
And when you sit outside and you like sit at nighttime and look at the stars and you look at the patterns of the stars, and you're just like, wow, God made all of that, and I can sit here and look at it. And so, and then people are like, nah, there's no such thing as time travel. Every time you look at the night sky, you're traveling in time, because every time you look at the sun during the day, how long does it take for the sunlight to get to the earth? That's time travel. And so I don't understand how people can't wrap their mind around things that don't make sense to you, like on a linear mind frame. Because if you don't think linearly and you try to think more like widely, more spatially, then you can understand the universe better and God better, because you're not thinking linear. Like, people think linear too much. We have to think much bigger than that.
We've been conditioned to.
I'm sorry.
We've been conditioned to think that way.
I know.
It's sad.
I know. They've shut our brains off to a certain extent with drugs and, chemicals and all this stuff.
Social media.
Propaganda. I mean, but if you really like sit down with God alone and you think about the universe and you look at the sun and you look at the stars and you think, well, how long did it take for this to get here to me to see it? So now you're time traveling just whenever you look at the sun and you look at the stars.
Nice. We're all time travelers.
That's what I think about it whenever I sit and I talk to God at night or during the day, and I'm watching the sunset or I'm watching the stars like move in the sky. I'm like, this is time travel right here. And people are like, no, there's no such thing as time travel. That's crazy. Like, you have no idea. Like, you're traveling through time right now. We're going 86,000 miles an hour through the universe on a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Someone recently was like, do you feel like you're ruining your kids' lives by not doing dinosaurs? I'm like, no, we do dragons. Sorry.
That's even better.
Dragons are awesome. I mean, not so awesome. I have to fight a dragon, but they're cooler than dinosaurs. That's a made up thing.
You gotta learn how to train your dragon. You gotta learn how to train your dragon. There's movies about it.
Yeah, no, but I know it's a good reminder of how beautiful everything is, despite all the darkness we talk about, and a lot of it on this show. I always want to make sure everyone remembers it's a lovely, beautiful world. Don't be shackled to the material world, but my goodness, it's amazing, and I love looking at the landscape. And every time I see my children, I'm reminded of God and His glory, and it's overwhelming.
Me too. I'm so thankful for people like you, Shane, that are able to like really be compassionate and sweet and like just think about what other people say. Maybe you don't agree with them, but you sit there and you talk to them just like Charlie did. Yeah. Like, you just sit there and talk to people and just like let them say what they want and then talk to them about it. And we need more people like that in the world. And I want to ask you one question about the Charlie's situation with are we going to get an autopsy report? Is there an autopsy?
I've heard so many conflicting things.
Dude, I don't know if they had him long enough to do one. He was in a casket being transported on Air Force 2 like the next day.
There's no way.
I thought it was a federal thing where if there was a political assassination, that it had to be an autopsy done.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't know if that means that they need to release the findings.
I feel like they would have had to have done one. I've heard so many conflicting reports. I've heard that there was some access that you could have for journalists, but that seemed like it was fake. It's like the body armor thing. Everyone thought he was wearing body armor. today or yesterday, I was listening to Candace Owens, and she said she was confirmed through two PUSA people that he wasn't. I didn't think he was. I mean, in the very beginning, I was like, maybe he was.
Did we ever get medical findings for JFK?
Yeah, there's some, and they're buried in the files.
Because I mean, when it gets political, that's where we start getting.
And there's also testimony from people who were in the room as doctors, even as early as, as recent as earlier this year. There was a doctor in the hospital in Dallas that they pulled in, and he just testified, and it's interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's here and there.
Can you believe that surgeon that came out and said that Charlie's? He was trying to confirm that it was the same gun that they were saying it was, but that it went into his neck and then went down and hit his heart and then bones and then came back up and ended up right where it entered the wound, and that was why there was no exit wound. And that sounds so crazy to people that are ballistic specialists, people that have been snipers in the military.
Yep.
They're like, that makes no sense, because that caliber of gun, that caliber of bullet does not exit out of even the biggest animal.
Yeah.
With the densest bones.
And this is the problem. It's like, and real quick, I see David Parker, I see you out there. There are pictures of the JFK autopsy. That they do those do exist. I mean, they could be fabricated, but
I figured at the very least that now we would have them. The question is really just how long did it take to get those?
Right. Yeah. Great point. But this is why I just call it the reality buffet, because anything you want to believe is up online. So there are people who say they're ballistics experts or snipers, and they're saying, well, that story adds up. You know, these things happen. And there's other people who are saying, I'm also an expert, and this never happens, and it makes no sense.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I mean the bullet size of that bullet, if it goes in through a neck of a man, it's probably not going to stay inside of the body. Like, it's probably going to go straight through. Like, I'm no ballistics
expert. It depends on what it hits. I mean, honestly, and yeah, there are freak shit happens with bullets, man. I mean, it could have hit a number of things and done anything. The point is not to speculate, and really, it's going to be hard for anybody to believe anything that we get findings wise out of this because of the amount of time it's taken, even if it's all completely legit. But I think this does require an actual ballistics report to be released. I just don't know that we're going to get that anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
I know, Brandon, and that's why everybody's speculating, because we don't have any conclusive evidence to believe anything they're saying. So we have to speculate, because we're just like, this doesn't make sense.
See, that's why I think it's important not to speculate, though, is because we don't know. And I mean, like, this ties into a conversation we were having with a guy last night who called in, and he's like, yeah, let people just spew whatever conspiracy shit they want to. It's, like a freedom of speech type deal. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But, like, that's where I got into, like, poisoning the well.
Conspiracy. I'm asking questions. Like,
no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm not trying to stray away from that. Everybody continue to ask questions, but don't, pump out theories that don't exist, and because that's going to lead to a train of people like wanting to believe shit that's not true, that hasn't been proven.
I know. Like,
and that's what's scary.
That's crazy. Like, people are like, oh my God, Israel.
And if we weren't so connected now by internet and phone and things like that, where just this could spread like wildfire in a 24-hour period, it might not be that serious. But because things can literally overnight ignite, and everyone in the world knows about it just because they have a phone, that's where things kind of get dangerous.
And I'm not taking anything off the table. I mean, I don't want to endorse any idea yet, because I really don't.
Oh, I'm keeping everything in piles and stacks.
I don't feel one way about anything. I will say the things that I'm seeing from the camp of people that think it came from the back are interesting. I don't want to say I endorse that theory yet, but they're interesting. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of experience with this stuff. It's not just like, me saying, I think this because of da-da-da-da. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. But people who have a long history and big channels, and they seem reasonable, they are breaking it down in a way that I'm at least like, that's interesting. Because we know what happened with JFK. We don't know what happened with JFK.
If it came from the front, then all the blood would have came out the back. But then they're saying, no, there was no exit wound, which is so weird. It went in and it just went down. And then they're saying, like, people are saying, like, they've shot like the biggest animals that you can shoot with the highest bone density that you can shoot, and a bullet like that does not hit a bone and go down. And so the whole surgeon coming out and saying, "Oh, he's a Superman. Charlie's a Superman. You know, his bone density was so awesome."
That didn't help.
No, and it was like, what in the world? And then him saying, like, the bullet was right at the wound. Like, it's like almost like somebody dropped the bullet in the wound. Like, here's the bullet. Like, like somebody planted it and took the other one.
I have a feeling that official story is going to change drastically. They will officially change that story, or at least widen that scope soon. If they just close it and they say that's it, if they give us another "there's no there" line like Bongino gave us with Epstein about a month ago, 2 months ago, and like that's ridiculous. And that's another story we didn't even get into. O'Keefe dropped this.
That's
video.
Gonna scream cover up if that happens.
They can't.
I don't know that they can do that.
They can't.
That's almost condemning yourself.
It's also going to be hard for anyone to have a consensus at this point.
Yeah,
that's how crazy it is. Monica, do you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you. No, thank y'all for taking my call. I just really love talking to you all, and thank you for your show. I love your show, and I tune in every time you're live.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Have a good night, Brandon and Shane.
Thank you. You too. Robert, you say you lost all respect for Candace when she stuck her nose in Kreider's divorce. I was not a fan of that whole storyline. And Candace and I have had our own, when everybody on the internet hated my Eliza story, and trust me, everyone hated it. But I still stand by that story. And everyone was saying what they want to say, and that's fine. It was kind of fun. But the only person to reach out and want to actually ask me questions directly was Candace. And we didn't agree, and that's fine, but I'll always respect that. And I didn't like the Crowder stuff, but it's something I won't forget. When everyone was very easy just to talk smack online, which is also, it's fun, I get it. And that was a wild time. But I always have respect for that. And I am enjoying her. She is devout with the questions. And I might not agree with all the questions she's doing, but it's really good to ask these questions. And she's obviously very close to this story. And it's got to be hard. But I'm in full support of asking those questions. And I know it's making lots of other people uncomfortable, but I think we have to. I supported Alex when he went through the Sandy Hook stuff. I know a lot of people. I lost like friends because I said I didn't think it was bad that he asked the questions. I understand it's ghoulish for some people to be like, how could he even question Sandy Hook? And I had to walk them through this is why I
that
think
was basically the last 2
that.
weeks of the Charlie Kirk incident. Was
Alex was an experiment.
Yes,
and they crushed him. Which he's back on YouTube now. Go follow Alex Jones live on YouTube. That's an insane thing to say. It's been almost 10 years or something. So it's great that he's back. But I felt very compelled. This is way before I knew Alex, to be like, he did nothing wrong. You can ask those questions. You might find it ghoulish. I get it. We're talking about dead kids, and that's a whole other rabbit hole if you even think that happened. But in my opinion, false flags do happen, and that means real violence. Not all the time, because that could also mean fake violence. But a false flag, as far as we know, in terms of like what they were planning for Operation Northwoods and what they've done in the years of lead for 30 years in Italy, a lot of other things, the Whitmer Fednapping, they were planning real violence, or they did real violence. So I was totally. It's like, you have to support this. This is very important that we ask these questions. And it's ridiculous that these tech companies all banded up together to boot Alex off. I mean, I think it made him bigger. He turned into an even bigger myth, which is hard to believe even back then. But
that's how that works.
You got to, unfortunately, ask these questions because you know history. It sucks. It sucks. Stanley, you're saying false flags are not unheard of. They're not. I mean, to us. But to some people, they've never heard of these things, and you sound crazy when you bring it up. And I'm like, this is welcome to my Thanksgiving dinner. Inverted World Live is basically Thanksgiving for me once a year with my poor family. And I'm like, I have to make sure they understand we are under attack at all times. But what do we got?
I gotta ask. She touched base on God there for a second, and. It was she said it was like a UFO story, right? what she was talking about?
Yeah.
She was like, she defined it
Yeah.
as like a UFO story.
Or like a supernatural. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you believe in UFOs, aliens, right?
I'm not sure what. I think there's other entities out there. I don't know what I'd call them. Demonic.
Not of this world,
Maybe not of this dimension.
but physically existing as much as one entity can be.
Yeah, I think they can possess people. I think they can probably be on their own.
Well,
but yeah.
it's like the $1 million question for me is like when we get into discussion about God and religion. If God is the creator of all, did God also create aliens / UFOs? Is he in control of different species meeting?
Okay,
like
so
that?
it's going to depend on your theology and your religion.
I can see that.
And then it's like going to be, in my interpretation, it would be part of the fall of man and part of the rebellious angels and Satan that make up a lot of that stuff that, to me, feels like things that are coming from the other dimension and that are here, demons that can possess people. But, there's other people. I have talked to Catholics, and the Pope I forget, it was the last Pope or the Pope before, but they kind of said we're open to the idea of extraterrestrials.
Because I've heard too through this that there's belief in like a mass exodus where a large amount of whatever was here before us, or possibly us just in a prehistoric era,
Right.
left this planet entirely.
That's a breakaway civilization.
And then now are destined to return at some point.
Yeah, I think that's also a possibility. I think other things that could be aliens could be us.
In which case, derived of this world, but no longer living here.
Now, my timeline will be different because I think we're in young Earth as opposed to the old Earth. But I still think even the young Earth timeline, that leaves lots of room for advanced civilizations to rise and fall and for them to go underground, like our caller was saying last night, or fly up to space like what Elon's family did probably 4,000 years ago when they escaped and they took over Mars. But that's just me, I don't know.
And in which case, they wouldn't actually be aliens because they were from here first. So they would be natives. I guess you would call Nalians? You call them Nalians?
Yeah, great. So it's going to be like,
Let's go.
all of Earth is Gaza now when they return. That'll be fun.
Watch out for the Nalians, y'all.
All right, let's, who do we got next?
We are going to go to Pets Dogs.
All right.
Fantastic pastime.
Right.
Hey fellas, how's it sound?
Hey,
Sounds
hey,
good.
What's up?
I was just thinking you were saying earlier how they're shooting cremated remains up to the moon.
Yeah.
Yup.
Isn't that going to confuse the shit out of people if like our civilization dies and then 3,000 years from now they're finding all these cans of humans and like
Yup.
stuff just sitting on the moon there, and we would dig that up today and think, oh, people lived here.
Well, that's us. I don't know that they would necessarily know what they were looking at. Even if it was
Maybe.
labeled with a name and a date and all that other, why would anything else know what the hell that was?
Yeah, I mean, Gene Roddenberry is allegedly buried up there. His ashes. So the guy who made Star Trek is on the moon. There's a bunch of weird people on the moon.
Like if I was going to have my cremated dust sent up there, I wouldn't want it just jettisoned out of a pot and just laying there for someone to find. I'd be like sprinkle me on the damn moon.
Yep.
Like you would dumping somebody into a lake or something.
I love that thought though about people finding the ashes on the moon, be like, what was this? It's like when they're gonna dig up transgender corpses in 1,000 years on Earth. Like, what is this? They're like misgender a skeleton. Hopefully not. Hopefully that stuff has been completely wiped out from the lexicon by then.
Time will tell.
But my goodness, yeah. I want to add the people that are burying like Gene Roddenberry and other ashes, human remains on the moon. They also sent up presidents' DNA into space. JFK and George Washington have like DNA samples that they launched into space.
Why?
I think my theory is for the Elon's family to get it and clone them. And they're going to come back with JFK and George Washington. That's just me. That's what I've been thinking about. Why would you do it? Why would you send the DNA of dead presidents into space? Maybe they.
What if you wanted to start over and you on Mars with the founders all over again and have them create a Elon society with the new founders?
Oh, you're talking. Now you're talking.
You bring these guys back now, they're going to be pissed.
Unless they've been conditioned to think otherwise.
How?
What if they look the same, but they've been brainwashed to be bad? And now you have bad JFK and bad George Washington. Now we have to like bring back good ones here to fight it. How else do you do it?
So we're placing them on the shelf of like Biden clones.
I mean, there's a lot of those. So we have to get another shelf, but yeah.
I don't know,
It's
man.
weird thought.
It's a great thought. I love it. They are turning the moon into a graveyard, 100%. I do think there's something there. Just because I say it's fake doesn't mean there's not. There's something up there, and it's covered in human ashes, and also Chinese people building a nuclear power plant on the dark side of the moon.
Hey, do you mind if I touch on? I want to tell you. I think I might have a ghost like in my shop, so I want to get to that. But I wanted to touch on the Charlie Kirk stuff real quick, if you don't mind.
No, of course.
So I regularly go to this grocery store. It's right outside of Portland, Oregon. It's real like high class. You'd think there's a Tesla dealership in the parking lot. There's like that many Teslas there. It's that kind of place, right?
Yep.
The other day I was playing, I don't know who it was, Tim Pool, Crowder, it could have been a number of people, but I was playing a video where they were talking about it, and it was in my car, and it was pretty loud, and I was standing like 12, 15 feet away, smoking a cigar, kind of hanging off to the side. I had a while to wait. Mm-hmm. And just seeing the sneers and the comments, and I didn't say anything. I didn't interact with anybody. They didn't even know it was like me, because I was pretty far away from the car. But people were like literally couldn't handle that playing. They would stop and like look around and stuff. And these are like middle-aged people with money in their bank accounts, driving nice cars, and it's really strange to see. It was like almost like they just had to sneer at it as they went by, and it was you know, obviously you can't read everybody's intentions, but it was very obvious on some people like what was going through their head, you know.
Yeah,
it's just pretty gross.
Oh yeah, it's very gross. It's very discouraging, demoralizing. Been seeing it, I continue to see it, and it's not good for these people's souls, man.
My girlfriend, she graduated high school, went to UFO and stuff, and so she sees all these people that came from these places that are still on her Instagrams and Facebooks and things, and she doesn't interact with any of it, but she shows me like how the threads are going, even like your local next door groups and things, man, and it makes us feel sick here because we're surrounded by these people, and it's always been, you know, we always knew that, but it's never been so apparent that we're living, it doesn't feel like with neighbors that disagree with us anymore. These people, like, it's palatable, like they hate you.
Yeah, see,
you know, and
I've been thinking about that. You're right, because I keep referencing 2020 and how it felt when the world shut down and half the country seemed like they didn't care if you died. But it was still like sort of an abstract, like very surreal thing going on, despite the very real violence and the riots and the fires. You know, it was something that seemed a little further away, even though we were all locked down to some degree, depending on where you were.
It was like the blip in Endgame.
Right.
Like
but now,
Infinity War, where everything leaves and it's just desolate for 5 years.
Right.
You know, they're talking about whales swimming in the Hudson, you know, like you're seeing, we saw similar wildlife returning to like
the skies were clear
urban
again.
areas where they're not usually at, you know, deer in the city, you know, type stuff. And everything was kind of getting like, okay, I'm going to come back now because humans aren't everywhere. And
which is also what happens in Leftovers. Wild dogs who were on leashes with people who had been raptured were loose and then became wild dogs. There's a pack of wild dogs roaming the streets. But what's going on now is like all that weirdness and the absurdity has like it's very much all of it's at the surface now. And now people are like, everyone's on edge and reality has completely dissolved. Like there's just no reality. I mean, we believe in a reality. We know there's an objective reality, but there's no consensus on reality anymore, even amongst political factions. So it's making it even heightened how paranoid and violent and surreal everything is. And you're seeing people react like ghouls to a death of an innocent man. And you're like, man, how can you deny spiritual warfare at this point?
And it's another thing that's disheartening is that there's like only one path that I see like people going to is, you know, is authoritarian figures. I told you that story about the cops when that lady tried to kidnap my kid and they kicked me down to the ground and you know, removed me from the mall and let the kidnapper walk. Terrible. Those are the people that we're going to have to hand all the power and authority to that's what's being talked about to stop this, you know. And once they have it, I mean, we're stuck with that, and we have to do something. And it's just so weird because politically, like if there were Proud Boys surrounding any institution like they are the ICE facilities and assaulting and shooting at people, at the very minimum, like Republican senators and would be forced to condemn it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they deflected and refused to even like take it up as a, like, you know, the Antifa is an idea thing, like they wouldn't allow that. They'd come in with like Apache helicopters before they let conservatives just like, you know, organize and attack buildings like that. I just don't see, it doesn't seem like we're playing the same game at all.
We're not.
You know,
No,
We're not playing the same
that's a
game.
fair point.
And there's multiple games being played, and there's games being played that we don't even see right now. You know?
Plans within plans.
Yes. And part of that, yeah, that's baked into the plan, is the game that you don't even understand right now. And people need to pay attention to that too. That's why, I mean, somehow we have to have some sort of unification. Don't know how, because we're occupying separate dimensions in the same location.
Yeah, and we spend, you know, 7 and 8 days out of our week going against each other in any way possible.
Yep. Every day it's getting worse. And man, God,
used to be they would. Sorry.
No, it's all good. You go for it, dude.
It used to be they would divide us on election seasons. You know, being from Portland, I just saw the rioting spike and go down and spike and go down with the weather and the elections, midterms. We're so solidified now that I can't live in the same room with people that think about kids the way they do. You know, we don't have to go through all the things, or, you know, my right to bear arms or any of these things. Like we're so, they separated us in so many ways, but the lines seem, you know.
Yeah, because even their normal beliefs that they're willing to say out loud are a direct corruption of the innocence of your child. And they don't see it that way because they see it as they're willing. This is how they help their child. You know, I'm talking about the gender stuff, the mutilation stuff, you know, the drugs, different schools, books, how you view history, like everything about what they think is objective reality, we know is wrong, but they think it's objective, you know? So we can't even agree on past and present, and we can't agree on science, and can't agree on anything. I don't know how you can coexist with that. But I do want to say I still have friends who don't agree with me politically. And I was thinking about that a lot lately because I do talk a lot about how I lost a lot of friends during COVID. But I do still have friends, and I know there's small hope out there for some people. You know, and some of these people said some pretty wild stuff to me before, but I try to have a capacity for forgiveness.
I've seen people say some pretty wild shit just to the general public and like post, and I'm like, dude, you're done. Like,
I know.
You're out of here. I'm sorry.
I know.
I've never been one to remove someone from my life based off of their like political rationales, things like that. I'm generally fair. Believe what you want. It's fine. Be whatever you want. It's fine. I don't care. But like when you're advocating for something like murder, and things like this, and the shoe doesn't fit on the other foot when it comes back around, that's where I'm like, all right, dude, you need to. You're not a person that I want to know.
Yeah, and
sorry.
If you have kids, you know, like you're saying, they're a danger to your children. Just because these little ideas, I can't stress this enough. For anyone out there who cares about this and is thinking about spiritual warfare, C.S. Lewis's book, it's very small. The Screw Tape Letters is a great example of how bad, it's demons in the book, but you could apply it to anything. How, let's just say, evil can whisper little things in your ear to get you to do one bad thing after another until it accelerates and escalates into something worse and worse and worse. And that is, in my opinion, that's happening all the time, and all of us are under attack by that stuff constantly. And it's why I think the left has been driven to complete madness.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to live here. It's just, we all experience this differently, but to live here and you know, the heart of this crap is it makes your stomach turn. You know?
It's crazy to be behind enemy lines.
Yeah. So hey, if you don't mind, if we got time, can I tell you my my ghost stuff going on? Let's
do it. We'll try to get to another caller. If you can do it quickly, we'll do it. If not,
how How much time? Hey, I tell you what, you got enough for probably one good call, so I'll just let you go there, and then I'll tell you next time.
All right, perfect. Because we always love hearing from you, man, and you know where to call us, and we will make sure you get back on to give us that story.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Looks like you guys are growing, man. Congratulations.
Thanks,
and
man.
I just real quick before I leave, Ian, when you were gone, Ian was on the show, and he kind of admitted that he deflected a hurricane and destroyed North Carolina on purpose to protect his friends. And I don't know how you feel about that after you kicked like Big Cloud in the balls all day the other day.
Yeah,
If, Ian deflecting a hurricane to kill people, but you guys are still friends. I think you should talk to him.
That's why I'm actually laughing, is because I didn't even think about that until you just said it like that, and I'm like, oh my god.
He did just leave a comment, I think, on the Cloud conversation yesterday, where it was a GIF and Ian said, "I am the storm," and now it makes sense.
No, and if you watch that show, there's a point where I kind of stop in the middle of it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, did you just are you openly admitting to actually affecting, you actually control weather patterns? And he's like, oh yeah, totally. And I'm like, well, dude, it was one of those things, we asked that guy about the morality, where he thought he's like, yeah, I brought this up the night before, and then someone died the next day, and he was blaming himself. And I'm like, are you putting this on yourself, that you rerouted this hurricane to a city and now all these people are dead? You think that's your fault? And I think he did actually, to some degree, blame himself for that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's a felony of probably multiple.
And he admitted it. And he admitted on the show. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely multiple counts of manslaughter.
Okay. Interesting.
With
Take
intent.
it easy, fellas. I enjoy watching all the time, and just thanks for giving us a voice to say what we got to say. So peace out, fellas.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for
Have a
being
great
here.
night. Appreciate that.
Bye.
Hey, shout out to Tempered Wisdom out there on Rumble. We appreciate that Rumble rant. You guys are freaking awesome. Now, the second most looked forward to show of my day. That means a lot. Seriously. We are so grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But let's try to get one more caller in here before the end of the night.
Yep. Let me run the list really quick and just make sure there's nobody I missed here that we can get to from before. This is this. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is where the list is right now. This is how many people in the last week we haven't been able to get to that I'm trying to cycle back through. So your names do not get lost or forgotten.
I used to go days without getting callers, it's amazing. The callers make the show. I love getting that we can spit our talk in the beginning, and you guys hear me rant a bit, and I love it. But the callers I love getting phone calls. You guys know I love Coast to Coast, except for the guy who canceled me from Coast to Coast. I don't like that guy. But I love that show. I love that format.
Screw that guy.
Yeah, that guy makes me mad.
All right. Let's go to Carol. I do not know how to pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. There are a lot of Z's. Carol, can you hear us? Hello. Please unmute your mic.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
I'm still we were doing a full-on Halo 3 chant.
Oh yeah, did you guys watch IRL tonight?
We were watching it, and it just infected everybody in the house.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we just started singing Halo.
Yeah, everybody was doing
over
Halo.
here. Yeah, what's up, man? How are you?
Hello, friending. How are you today?
We are good. How are you? What's up?
I'm good, guys.
I was gonna say, is this Grok? Is this Grok finally calling?
This is Rakesh. I'm calling from Microsoft customer support service. How can I assist your call today, sir?
Just remonetize me on Twitter, Grok.
I don't want to extend my warranty, thank you.
Oh man, what's going on?
So I guess we're all demons. None of us went to heaven for the rapture, huh?
No, we're fine.
I mean, I am.
Yeah, we know Brandon might be, but
I'm
no.
totally from going to and from hell, probably. So don't count me out.
Nah, I don't. I didn't think it was gonna happen. But like I said, I'm not in control. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a rapture kind of night.
Right. I need to know if Sergeant Peyton becomes mayor of Houston before the rapture.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
It's really
that would be a good day.
That's kind of the dumbest thing to say. Is the rapture totally didn't have rapture vibes.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't feel it like in the air.
Just didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like when Christmas doesn't really feel like Christmas. It's like 50 degrees outside. That's basically the rapture.
I want to say this is a good comment.
It's a good
from,
analogy.
From as who said this? Oh, Renee. Renee said it. No, Brandon. Jesus loves you too, and don't you forget it.
I don't know why.
Renee is always.
He loves us all.
I love Renee.
Renee's great.
Awesome.
It's a great reminder, and I'm glad we got to tell him that.
He should
Shout
be
out
more
to
selective.
the chat, by the way. What's up, chat?
The chat is the best. This is the
Oh,
best
yeah.
chat on YouTube and Rumble. You guys are constantly cracking me up.
Hell yeah.
It's I don't know how everyone the funniest people are in this chat.
It kills me because we'll be sitting here having a serious conversation with someone on the phone, and I'll read a chat that's absolutely hilarious, and I'll bust out laughing while there's a serious conversation happening, and I look like an asshole, and I don't like that. But I think you guys are onto that by now.
Yep.
So
Yep, that's great. Well, what's on your mind tonight, brother?
So, I wanted to mention, I saw some, I don't know if they were the TR3B or the TR3C, but I've seen them twice in my life.
Okay.
Both times in the West. Once was in New Mexico, and the other time was, I think, in either Arizona or Nevada. But I was truck driving. It's like the middle of the night, like 2 a.m., and I just seen like this giant fucking triangle thing just like hovering in the sky. And yeah.
Just hovering?
So-
Was it moving?
No, it's just sitting stationary, like just floating in midair.
this is
Like-
this is by far the most reported UAP that we get on this show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, people have lots of these stories.
We've already had one tonight,
Mm-hmm.
so this would be the second reporting of that tonight. But like, go back through any of the last like 50 shows, you're going to see a bunch of these.
How big would
It's
you
real.
Say, how
It's
big would you say it was?
definitely real.
How big you think?
Probably. I don't know.
Because we've had stories of like they're football field sized.
Yeah.
And we've had like more like plane sized.
Yeah, we've heard there's some that are like massive, and silent at the same time.
Maybe, I mean, it could be as big as a football field, but that's a little. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
It is
I don't know.
big.
It's really tough to tell. I mean, it was probably like 15,000 feet in the air. It was pitch black
Yeah.
outside. You know, it was kind of far away. So it's kind of hard to. I don't know. Maybe like 100 meters across. I don't
Okay.
fucking know.
Yeah, it's just, I'm curious because the recent UFO hearing they had someone on there testifying say that they saw one that was a football field sized. It was
Yeah,
it's huge.
maybe when it's close,
Huge.
it probably is that big. I don't know.
Right.
Tough to tell for sure, but pretty fucking big. That's
Did
for
they
sure.
both look? They both had the same look, same lights.
Yeah. Yep. It was like 3 lights at the endpoints, and I can't remember if there was like a big one in the center, but I have seen photos online, so I don't know. It's kind of hard, kind of fuzzy because it was probably about 6 years ago at this
Yeah,
point.
I feel like that's supposed to be like the beam me up Scotty light. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's
Well,
for.
I've
For
heard
the
that
cows.
the tech behind it is it's like a nuclear reactor powered mercury propulsion system or some shit. The mercury reacts with some nuclear isotope, and that creates a lot of energy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Who knows? There's so many rumors out there.
sounds about right.
It's so hard to know for sure unless you work for Lockheed Martin or
Yeah.
General Dynamics or Halliburton or whatever those.
Yep. Those people aren't talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots-
Well, yeah, because they'll off them if they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. I mean, we've seen what happens to some whistleblowers. Has anyone
Right?
seen the Tucker Carlson Sam Altman interview? It's,
Oh, yes. Yeah, he straight up
Gosh.
confronted him. He's like, Sam was he
Oh.
was like so squeamish, like he didn't know what to say.
it was so people. I've talked
Melting in
about.
his seat.
Yeah, I've talked about that whistleblower a bunch on the show because the condensed version is a whistleblower came out from OpenAI and said they're stealing copyrighted stuff, basically, and then he died, and
Yeah.
he did some interviews, and then
Like a week after he got
Yep.
let go, or after he resigned his position at
and it was ruled a suicide, but
right.
there was blood all over the place.
Yeah, no, they definitely killed him.
There was
for sure.
a wig, part of a wig there. The camera stopped working. His
Yeah, he knew
parents
too
don't.
much.
His parents don't think it was a suicide. And maybe one of my favorite sentences from any interview this year was when Sam Altman told Tucker, because Tucker said, "Why would he order food before killing himself?" To which Sam Altman said, people definitely order food they like before they commit suicide. That is Sam Altman, people. That's
a weird thing to say, isn't it?
Well, he's a mutant.
I think he's part of the Borg.
100%. Yeah, he's not a good dude. I'm not a fan of his. But
Me either.
But awesome. I appreciate the stories. Did you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. So about the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of weird shit on Twitter lately. A lot of weird conspiracies about his wife, who I don't know if you've seen the photos, but she was wearing like a bunch of Masonic rings during the memorial, and then at the end of it, she made like a satanic hand gesture.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's again, who was it? Leonarda Jody, is that her name? She's hilarious, but she.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. The comedian. Yeah,
she's hilarious. She quote tweeted the one about
so funny.
The hand thing, and that's kind of how I felt. And her thing was it's the "I love you" sign, but people are going to look at. They are scrutinizing everything, so anything's up for grabs. And I've seen the other posts about her. I've seen the stuff about the rings. I've seen the stuff that she's connected to, like some orphanage
child
stuff.
trafficking in Romania.
And Candace even responded to one of those, but only to the part of the post that was about her and her husband.
Okay.
And that was a pretty spicy post about her being connected to this trafficking thing and all that stuff.
And her mom was like directly she affiliated. She worked for the DoD.
That's what they
and
say.
She was responsible for like making deals with the Israeli government for like weapons being sent over there.
I haven't seen that part. I saw her say something about having parents or a mom in the DoD. But you are watching, like, I don't know what is what anymore.
Right.
But we are all watching every possible portion of this story being like fractured, blown apart, questioned.
Well, yeah, because like
it's wild.
In actuality, what Erica Kirk did was she used sign language to signal "I love you."
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that could mean that in sign language.
Well, it does. It's what it means in sign language. Now, whether or not,
but it does also.
She actually meant that when she did it, sure. But I don't see any reason why she didn't. I don't know. The thing is I'm assuming that I don't know if that was done. She was signaling to her late husband, or if she was signaling to everybody that was there at the memorial and watching around that she loves everybody.
Because the devil sign typically is thumb closed, right?
That's devil horns.
And she did thumb out.
Okay.
And that is "I love you." But people are asking those questions. And when I saw it, I was like, I think she's just saying "I love you" to the crowd.
Yeah. This is how heavily we're all reading into every inch of their lives right now.
But it's because we are in a true crime podcast. We have two podcasters running the FBI. We have, he shouldn't be called a podcaster because he wasn't, but he did podcast, Charlie. Candace podcast. We're in like podcast world. We're on one right now, and remember how it was with the true crime craze. Now we're living inside of a true crime podcast. It's going on in real time, and everyone's an investigator. And this is how those mysteries play out. They go down. You've seen these movies. You've seen Chinatown, or like a crazy David Lynch movie with lots of absurdity. You question literally everything. And but the hand one in particular, like, I don't know about the other stuff with the orphanage. Didn't even feel right to look into it, but I was definitely interested. Like, that is
allegedly
bizarre.
There was like 24 people in that very same village in Romania where all those kids that were being adopted by them.
There were people making
they got arrested recently for child trafficking. So,
I didn't see that. What I do see is there are people trying to create a lot of stories.
Yes,
and I'm watching.
I'm skeptical of everything.
And you should be
all the time.
You should be, but I'm watching it all. I mean, it's horrifying and it's fascinating. But
additionally, were you guys aware that 3 hours before Charlie got shot, the Senate passed? They were taking a vote on whether or not to release the Epstein files.
Yeah, I saw that. I
think Renee literally just said
they had a new vote. I think yesterday.
I think Renee literally just said in chat that they got us to forget about Epstein real fast.
And Charlie's assassination coincidentally happens the day before 9/11 and the day I think 9/12 or no 9/13. An Epstein book was supposed to be released.
Yeah, I mean, and then I didn't even get into this today. So I'm almost getting to the point. I'm like, I don't know if I could take anymore. But the snake eyes thing that's been going around today.
Oh yeah, and the snake eyes thing. Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's bizarre.
Bro, what the fuck?
Do you know about that, Brandon?
This shit's crazy.
I was helping Chris set up
I gotta
the
go
new
watch that movie. I've never
studio
seen it. I gotta go and
so.
see it.
So the movie Snake Eyes with like Nick Cage.
Charlie Kirkland.
Charlie Kirkland was shot in the neck on
It's
9/10 in front of an audience.
It's so fucking weird,
It's
dude.
bizarre. There's a lot of weird.
Are you serious?
There's a lot of weird connections.
What?
So it went like viral today, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't take it
every
anymore.
day. It's like something new, and like you just add to the conspiracy.
So then it's like,
well,
are we thinking this is predictive programming, or
it has to be, dude? This is all a psyop,
it's
man.
that,
Everything's a fucking psyop.
it's
at
that,
this point.
or
all
it's
a psyop.
like, and I agree. I think most of this is theater with real violence, but like, I've been thinking about the network and pattern of evil, and like how
I think
big
Charlie
it
had
is.
a good chance at becoming POTUS.
100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And I don't
That's why
think
he was
the
a threat.
Zionists would have liked that very much.
Well, he started saying things they didn't like. I mean, he was still supportive, but he was having conversations that were already getting him labeled an anti-Semite, which is insane. And that tide was turning.
He still wouldn't have been able to run for at least 2 elections, though. I think because of his age.
35, yeah.
He wouldn't have. He wouldn't. I don't. Is it still 34?
35.
Or is it 35?
35.
Yeah,
if it's 35, then yeah, he wouldn't have been able to run for the next election, but he would have been able to run the following.
Yeah. No, dude, he was effective. He was very smart.
Well-spoken, articulate.
And trying to educate the American demographic.
Yeah.
And giving the other side a chance to actually speak their nonsense.
Yep.
Who does that anymore?
An extended grace.
Right. Who on the left does that?
He was great. And, you know, I talked about IVF on the show before, and I can't articulate it that well, but I just recently saw Charlie talk about IVF in a debate, and it's perfect. Everyone should look it up. His IVF debate. It's, you know, the typical college campus video under the tent, but he articulates it so well and holds true to his faith, but sees the nuances, which is what I was struggling with.
He was a high IQ guy. He definitely saw through the
100%. But yeah, the snake eyes thing, I saw that. I'm like, my goodness, we have reached a new level of insane.
That's so crazy. My mind was blown today when I saw that shit.
And there's a Tyler in it, but that's the boxer, I believe.
Yeah, I gotta go and freaking rent that. I think it's on like Amazon Prime or some shit.
Yep.
Watch it.
And people were talking about it just a few days ago. I saw it like bubbling up. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that's about. And then today, man, it blew up. And,
it's all over Twitter.
My goodness. But yeah,
also, one more thing. Freaking, you guys know who Werner von Braun was, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
He wrote a book in 1955 called Project Mars, which was talking about the future, exploration and colonization.
Where he wanted the
Mars.
V2s to go originally.
And he mentioned that one of the leaders of the council of the first colonizers of Mars was named Elon. And that's in his book. It was written in 1955.
The Elon would govern Mars.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What are the odds? I tell that to people. Like,
we talked about that, I think.
Yeah, we talked about it. Like, I'll tell it to people. Like, this is another Thanksgiving conversation I like to have. And someone told me at Thanksgiving, well, Elon's just a popular name. I'm like, no, it's not. And second of all, what are the odds that a dude who builds rockets who also wants to colonize Mars is named Elon?
Yeah, that's like saying I have a popular name.
Yeah, it doesn't make it ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That is, Werner von Braun made Elon, or is Elon. There's something weird going on there.
Do you think that's a grooming situation?
Dude,
I think Elon is Werner's grandson.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. It's so weird. But
I wouldn't be surprised with the Hyling that we saw.
Right?
He was good at it. It was so natural.
It looked natural to me.
It made me want to do it. I'm like, dang, so good.
I didn't have that inclination at all.
Oh no, I was like, oh man. All right, kids, gather around.
I don't fuck with Nazis or communists, man. But that was.
Yeah, I was born in Poland, man. Like I was right. My grandparents, my grandpa was knocking coal off a Nazi train that was going to the front lines just to have something to burn during the wintertime.
Wow.
His friend just got blasted with an MP40. I think he was like 8 or 10 years old. at that time.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Those are crazy
Yeah.
stories to have.
But he said that the Red Army was a lot more brutal and worse
I mean,
than the Nazis. Like, I guess Wehrmacht regular Nazi soldier gave my grandmother a chocolate bar when she was a little girl. So, you know,
and the Russians
they're
probably
just
raped them.
a lot of them were just regular people that got conscripted into the army. You know.
I mean, that's how war is, you know.
Yep.
I've talked to descendants of Confederates who a lot of people from my old state of New York say they're all evil. But I'm like, you know, there's just nuance to some of this stuff. And that's just how history is. I am sorry to break it to you, but that's history. Sometimes there's good people who do bad things. Some people are forced to do bad things. It's evil, or you don't do it and you lose your life and you sacrifice yourself for it. But yeah, man, it's not as black and white as people like to believe. But hey, man, I appreciate the phone call. And
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course. Have a good night.
You too.
My, oh my, what have we done? Well, we didn't even get into the Epstein stuff with James O'Keefe. Maybe we'll get into that tomorrow. But if you haven't already looked it up, go look up O'Keefe stuff. They're talking about Epstein being a CIA agent. So at least the story's still going on. That's good, because we shouldn't stop talking about all that stuff. But that was a fun episode, guys. I appreciate you all joining us. I appreciate you guys calling in, liking and sharing and subscribing. Like I said at the top of the show, it's amazing how much you've helped us grow. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Brandon, let them know what's up.
Yes, sir. My name is Brandon Miner. I am your co-host, Guy in the Chair for Inverted World Live. You can find me on X and Insta at Brando Inverted. Check me out. Hit me up. What's good? I need to get better at social media. I've been lacking on that lately. It's been just so much I haven't really been paying attention to it because I'm just like, I don't want to look at shit. I'll deal with this at work later, you know, but I'm going to get better. I promise I will get back to and reply to some of your guys' stuff here as soon as I can. I've been lagging immensely on that for mental sake. So
Smart.
But thanks for everybody for calling in, hanging out. We appreciate it. Thanks to Mayor Sarge Petro for calling in. Always good to hear from that guy. And we will get into more weirdness later tonight, as it is now Thursday.
That is Thursday.
So last show of the week. And yeah, don't forget to stay weird. We'll see you later tonight. Shane.
All right, guys. Have a great night. So much to talk about. I want to get into tomorrow with this Epstein stuff. But go look it up in the meantime, because I think it's interesting. And yeah, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night.